everybody, and welcome to another episode of Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential. I am your host, Jennifer Parrish, and on today's episode, we are with Miss Abby Herrera. She's a college student, and she's going to be sharing her experience and insights in accessible education. We'll be discussing challenges and opportunities in inclusive education, navigating accommodations and overcoming barriers, and success stories of being a blind or low vision student. So before we get started, as always, we'll be describing the set for our blind viewers. We are sitting in blue chairs with wooden tables next to us. We have a white brick background, blue lights, and a neon lighthouse sign. So Abby, thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate you coming down here and hanging out. Can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, what college you attend, what you're studying, and your vision loss?
Yeah, so I'm happy to do that. I am 21 years old. I currently attend Houston Community College, and I am a marketing major, and I plan to transfer from HCC to University of Houston eventually after this upcoming year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Perfect. How about your vision loss?
Yes, ma'am. So with my vision loss, I have astigmatism and I'm nearsighted. When I was born premature. So I had laser surgery to reduce my blindness, but eventually I am going to go blind once I get a little bit older. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
Okay.
So prepare for that.
Have you already started learning kind of assistive technology and stuff like that?
So growing up in Texas, I was given the opportunity from my school system to be able to learn mobility and be able to utilize that to progress in being able to use magnifiers, from magnifiers being able to learn how to walk with the cane and being able to understand the mobility in regards to that and being able to utilize different types of magnifiers. So being able to use them for reading, zooming in for whiteboards, and there was like a lot of magnifications that I had learned back in the day. So
right. So and that's true. You have to use like different ones for different activities, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, depending on the situation that I'm in. For example, reading. I have astigmatism, so my eyes get drifty if I'm reading for too long. And so with the magnification, that helps a lot because it gives me more of a focus in regards to what I'm reading, so it's not straining my eyes as much.
Absolutely. That's awesome. Cool. Are you going to eventually learn screen readers and JAWS and all that kind of stuff?
Yes, ma'am, eventually.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, it's good to kind of get ahead of the game on that if you can, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about just kind of education in general. So what are some common challenges faced by blind or low vision students in mainstream education settings?
Some of the challenges that I could say from my own personal experience and from other people that I have met throughout my journey that have similar challenges to low vision was like having the ability to understand like what opportunities there is out there, because there's multiple opportunities that a lot of people don't know because they're only navigated to certain amount of like organizations.
Sure. So basically like do your own research, right, and figure it out
And that's like also to like even for me, like I've been able to like be given the opportunity of the resources because of where we live. And that's also a main factor as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of people that are wanting to find those organizations don't know where to start. And that's the big factor, and that's the biggest challenge in regards to having a disability in general.
Mm-hmm. Who told you about them? Like, how did you learn about, like, kind of what organizations to start with and where to go?
I moved a lot as a kid. Mm-hmm. My mom was in the military, so I had moved a lot. So I had started off in Utah and then eventually made my way to Texas.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And that's where I was primarily raised. But in the Texas education, I was very grateful to be given the opportunity to be able to go into that school, the certain grade 8 school system. Mm-hmm. And so they were able to point us, once I had eventually moved there and we had discussed like my disabilities, they had been giving me the organizations from there. And then my mom, thankfully, she had assisted me with like looking further into the organizations that there was given from the school. So the school was the one that actually had assisted me with the knowledge and the organizations, and I'm still learning till this day. And
that's legit. You'll find more and more as you kind of continue on with your career, and maybe. So okay, so what are some common challenges faced by blind or low vision students in mainstream education settings?
Mainly, like, the challenges that are faced are primarily being assisted with accommodations.
Yeah.
Primarily in different scenarios. For example, like, there were some days where I would get like astigmatism from staring at the board for too long because the whiteboard at the time would glare off from the lights, and so it would give me like a migraine. And so then glaring it off the light from the class settings and not being able to like say anything about that because it's only affecting me, and everyone else has to like have like the same opportunity in the classroom. So that's when the like inclusive groups would come in and like kind of assist me furthermore with like being able to help me read with the papers that I was having trouble with, or being able to help me read the board when, even though I was in front of the classroom, I would still struggle to see the board sometimes because of the glare.
Right.
And so like little things like that. And also too, it's like also like different situations regarding like mobility, like within the school.
Yeah. Like, where's your classes?
Yeah. And a lot of people don't understand the frustration of not being able to memorize where everything is, because memorization really comes in key with low vision or blindness, because it's like you have to memorize where you're going. Yeah. And if you don't if one little thing throws you off, it throws off your whole entire like way of going throughout your day, because you're like, wait, this was here, but it's not here anymore, type of thing. And so that comes into struggle with school, because it's like, I remember one classroom here, but they moved a classroom because they swapped classes with a different department from like science or something like that. So it's like stuff like that. And then like, it's like when you verbally don't express that you need assistance in regards to mobility within the school, that's when it becomes a challenge.
Yeah, for sure. Do they have like kind of an office for disabilities and you just go up there and say, hey, I need this, that, and the other thing?
Primarily would mainly be office administration. You would go directly to the, depending on your school district, you would go to the office administration and talk to them and confide in them and be like, I know it's scary, but you'd have to confide in them and understand that they're people as well, understanding that they don't understand your struggle. Right. But they're trying to help you further your education for the benefit of your own purpose.
Right. So empathize and assist.
Yeah. And so that's the first step in regards to asking for assistance, is going to the office administrations, and then they'll navigate you in regards to their system of directory.
Gotcha. What opportunities does inclusive education provide for students with visual impairments?
Being able to be assisted in having the ability to have like longer test taking, as well as being able to have that read to you. Yeah. So your eyes don't get strained, or you get frustrated with trying to read the Braille and it's not like coming out correctly. Like little things like that. And then also like having a group of people with you that mentally go through the same struggles as you do in a way. Yeah. And feeling like you're not alone in that group. Right. Because every single time I'd go into inclusive study, there was always people with me, and like I would make friends that way. Like you always meet different types of people, because like every class that you go into, they pull you out, and there's like selective few, and it makes you feel like you're not alone.
Right, exactly. Kind of, they're going through the same struggle as you, huh? Yeah. Do you know some other visually impaired people that go to HCC?
Unfortunately, no. But I have met some amazing people in middle school and high school, and I still talk to them till this day. Yeah, I understand that. That's kind of how I made my, core friendships. We used to go to Texas School for the Blind during the summer
and like go to camp and stuff. And it was like, okay, people that, that this sort of blindness situation is stripped away and you're all just people at that point.
Yeah.
So a lot of people have the misconception that people who are blind or low vision can't go to school. We all know that's not true. Do you have any words of encouragement for young people who are blind or low vision who are unsure about starting their educational journey?
Yeah, of course. I would say I understand that you are afraid, and just being open and vulnerable may scare some people, because for me it does. Till this day sometimes in regards to certain topics.
Sure.
And being able to know that you are your biggest supporter in everything, and being able to push yourself, not just for yourself, but for your future, is the best reward that will come forth in everything. And being able to gain those new experiences is the best memories that you can withhold, and the people that you meet throughout your journey is the best thing that will progress you in life, because that will be able to give you that stepping stone and how to grow from certain situations and how to handle them. And being able to progress mentally in that is the best reward. And just having a support system
Right.
and entailed with that also helps as well. And I understand some people don't have that, and knowing that you have yourself is the best strength that you can have.
Self-advocate, right?
Yeah,
Definitely. Absolutely. What types of accommodations are available for people who are blind or low vision and who are students?
Typically it varies person to person. Personally, from my experience, what I've experienced thus far from my education from elementary till high school, primarily my main ones were large print, and I know a lot of school districts, depending on which ones you attend, typically sometimes they are not able to accommodate that. But
Really?
yeah.
Large print?
Yeah,
Why?
I don't
Sorry.
honestly, I've
wild.
heard some stories, and yeah, it's pretty sad, but also with the way technology is advancing,
Yeah.
I would say computers come and help with that a lot now.
Sure.
And also being able to have the inclusive studies as well, and being able to have, depending on your school system, have IEP meetings.
Yeah,
Would
exactly.
assist a lot, because you change every semester. You're not going to be the same, mentally.
Correct. I mean, you're
progress.
growing and
Yeah.
progressing and you're developing, exactly. How can students request and implement their accommodations in educational settings?
The best factors in regards to going forth with requesting accommodations is confiding in whoever you feel comfortable with, principal, or being able to confide in a teacher.
Like different staff members.
Yeah, different staff
yes.
members. Being able to confide in whoever you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
And they can navigate you in regards to where to go. And if you need assistance in navigating to that certain location within the school, just ask them. At the end of the day, we're all human, and empathy is one of the greatest unity.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Exactly. Just build rapport with whoever you confide in, and that way you can go to X, Y, and Z whenever you need something, and you've already developed that relationship, right? Why is it important to advocate yourself, and do you have any strategies or tips for effectively overcoming barriers?
Growing up, I had previously said this before, going into multiple school districts has taught me how to navigate different situations and scenarios. And I would say one of the biggest strengths that I have developed more of is self-advocating, because at the end of the day, like, you can have your support system and have them assist you furthermore in regards to certain situations, but at the end of the day, you vocalizing what you really need is what really comes into a pour, because it not just benefits you, but it benefits your future. And understanding that benefiting your future will benefit you in the long run, and developing that insight on how to move forward with certain situations will continue to help you progress and self-advocate. So just starting off slowly with one thing, like asking your teacher to sit up in the front, or asking your teacher for a bigger font, and having like little baby steps will help you. And like, don't overstimulate yourself, because mentally that's going to get to you.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Just one step at a time, right?
Yeah.
Yep. How have support systems such as family, friends, and educators helped you succeed?
Overall, I can say out of everyone that I've met in my life, when it comes to overall my family, them being there every step of the way and being there on my days that I didn't feel the best.
Yeah.
And being able to give me the confidence that I lacked because of a certain situation.
So being a cheerleader for you, kind of, right?
Yeah, and being able to, like, push me through, but also have me understand that I'm my biggest supporter.
Yeah.
And being able to push me through, like, certain situations that I needed to go through to grow as an individual and be the person that I am, and being able to meet teacher assistants, being able to meet them throughout my education was the best time for me, because being able to confide in somebody at school and
Like pull them aside and say, hey,
and like just having them like be there to assist me to progress my education was the best reward. And I still talk to them till this day, and like I have that relationship with them because they've helped me to the person that I am today.
Yeah.
And having that friendship throughout those years, and meeting people that go through the same struggles as me, and knowing that I'm not alone mentally helped me a lot with my mental health, for sure.
Yeah.
Because understanding that their journey is different than mine, but at the same time we share the same struggles in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And that makes us feel like we're not alone in this world. Mm-hmm. And being able to have community is like, and knowing that there's more people out there that are feeling the same way as I do on a day-to-day basis makes me feel like I can get through anything, knowing that other people are able to get through it on a day-to-day as well.
Yeah. You're certainly not alone in your journey, for sure.
Yeah. And you'll still meet people throughout your life.
Yeah, exactly. You got a long life, man. You meet tons of folks. What are some of your own achievements in your academic journey?
Some of my own achievements, I will say, I had a fallback back when I had graduated high school. Mm-hmm. And I mentally I knew what I wanted to do in school, and I had like the passion for it, but I was just so scared to go to college, actually. And I had actually worked in the workforce for a while, until I realized, dang, I need a degree to get somewhere. Like
to make that big money.
Yeah, I can't just keep working for a company for like 6-7 years and then finally get a leadership position.
Right.
Then, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna have to push myself, and that's what actually pushed me, was going into the workforce for a couple of years, and then I realized I need to push myself to further my development.
Yeah.
And understanding that it will benefit me more in the long run.
Yeah.
And like, even though it can get to you some days with studying long hours and staying up doing essays, long essays can get to you mentally, and it's straining on your eyes looking at a computer for I don't know how many hours.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like the effort that you put in is the effort that comes out of it, and it's a reward.
Exactly. Like you did it. You did all of that. And I agree with you, like kind of maybe taking that time and stepping into the workforce for a little bit, kind of helps you. You're a little older then finally when you start your educational journey too, and you've kind of been out and you see kind of how things operate. And so that's awesome that you did that. It looks like it's kind of come a long way since I was in school and we used tape recorders to rewind and read books. I don't know, like you use readers, right? Like, do you have someone physically reading to you or do you read it yourself? Like, how does that work?
Back in high school, they primarily had like people that would read it to me.
Uh-huh.
And on my days that like I would have to do homework, they gave me like magnifiers to be able to read it more efficiently. And gave
to
me,
read textbooks.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And
talk about a headache. Literally, man.
But they also gave me like dim lights. So it's not straining my eyes, but it was like also kind of helping me. And so, yeah.
Right. And so like now that you're in college, do you read your textbooks yourself or does someone read for you?
Yeah. So the progressiveness of technology has further assisted in regards to having the font sizes be different, having the backgrounds, and having the audio from the textbooks. Because they actually now have settings in the like online textbooks.
Okay, so your textbooks are online. That's what I was trying to get to. So this isn't a physical book that you pick up and flip through. This is online.
Yeah,
that's
my apologies.
Awesome. No, that's okay. That's cool.
I should have specified.
That's okay.
So they now from the online textbooks, they actually can like highlight specific wordings now and like actually change the backgrounds.
That's awesome.
And like it can actually like you don't have to download an app for it to like speak to you. It directly speaks to you from the textbook.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because when I went to school in the long time ago day, we used a tape recorder and they'd give you like tapes that were like 4-track and your teacher would be like, hey, read page 2 to page 6 and then read page 502 to 506. And so you'd have to like find them and like rewind the tape. In fact, it was terrible. And there you go. So technology has really come such a long way.
It very much has.
And I'm so glad that you get to go to school in a day when they have electronic textbooks.
I'm grateful for that. That's for sure.
Yes, because it was frustrating way back in the day.
I couldn't imagine.
It was crazy. So anyway, so we're gonna wrap it up here in a second, but before we end our conversation, do you have any final thoughts or anything else that you'd like people to know about your experience as a low vision college student?
Honestly, like my journey from implementing my low vision plus having a learning disability, it had its challenges, but over time, I, with like the right strategies from studying to developing more beneficial like habits in regards to learning myself a lot more. Having that routine really helped me understand who I was as a person, but also keeping organized to where I kind of like learned myself every day when certain situations would happen. And being able to have that discipline and trying not to overwork myself. Yeah. Because I will say we do have to work harder than others to be able to keep up with everyone. But at the end of the day, that effort and that drive will further implement your character development in the best way possible. And just knowing that you have the ability to keep moving forward for yourself is the best acknowledgement that anybody could have.
Very well said. All right. Well, thank you again, Abby, for joining us today. This has been an awesome conversation. Absolutely. To our listeners, thank you so much for being part of our community and tuning in to Sightless Voices Unleashing Potential, brought to you by the Lighthouse of Houston. We hope you enjoyed our conversation with Miss Abby Herrera and found it to be as inspiring and as insightful as we did. Remember, breaking barriers in education is possible with the right support and determination. Stay tuned for more episodes where we continue to explore stories that matter. Be sure to check out our other episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Follow the Lighthouse of Houston on social media for updates. And until next time, guys, take care and stay empowered.